My fiancé's ex called himself my kid's bonus dad on Facebook. He'd met them twice. I commented, "Interesting title." Then I posted screenshots of him texting my fiancée, "When are you dumping him and coming back to me?" 3 days before. When his entire family saw it, his mom called my fiancée apologizing and asking her to get a restraining order. I, 34 male, have 2 kids from my previous marriage, son's 8, daughter's 6. Their mom and I get along fine, we co-parent well, both moved on with other people. No drama there, which is honestly a blessing. Been with my fiancée for about 1.5 years now. She's amazing with my kids. Doesn't try to replace their mom, just genuinely cares about them and shows up when it matters. We got engaged a few months back. Everything's been good. Really good, actually. Except there's this one problem. Her ex, they dated for 2 years. She ended it maybe 6 months before we met. From what she's told me, he was the clingy type. Jealous. Couldn't handle that. She had her own life outside of him. She broke up with him and he took it badly, kept trying to stay friends, which apparently meant texting her every few months with some excuse. When we started dating, it ramped up. Suddenly he had emergencies where he needed her advice. Random just checking in messages. She showed me everything though, never hid it. I wasn't thrilled but figured eventually he'd get the message. He didn't. About 2 months ago, my fiancée picked up my kids from school because I got stuck at work. Normal thing, she's done it plenty of times. Kids were telling her about their day. She snapped a quick photo in the car, just her and them smiling. Posted it on her Facebook with some caption about best carpool crew or whatever. Her Facebook's private. Friends only. Cute, innocent post. Here's the thing though, she never blocked him. Said she didn't want to seem petty, so he's still on her friends list. Couple days later, I'm on lunch scrolling Facebook and I see my kids in a post from this dude. He took her photo, reposted it to his own page. Caption said something like, "Bonus dad duties. Love these kiddos already," with a bunch of those family hashtags. I just stared at my phone. Bonus dad? This guy has met my children twice. Once at some group barbecue thing where he talked to them for maybe 5 minutes total. Once when he randomly ran into us at the grocery store and tried making awkward conversation while my son literally hid behind my leg. That's it. 2 interactions. And he's calling himself their bonus dad on the internet. I screenshot it immediately. Showed my fiancée who was sitting next to me. She went pale. Oh my God. We went through her messages with him. She'd been shutting him down pretty consistently. But there was some recent stuff that made my blood boil. Him asking why she was playing house with someone else's kids. Telling her she was making a mistake being with a guy who had baggage. Asking when she'd stop the charade and come back to him. 3 days before that bonus dad post, he'd texted, "When are you gonna stop this and come back to me? You know we're supposed to be together." She'd told him she was engaged. In love. To leave her alone. His response was that I'd never love her right and my kids would never accept her. She'd been handling it, shutting it down each time, but clearly it wasn't working because now he was posting my children online pretending to be their stepdad. I commented on his post. Just wrote, "Interesting title." He deleted it within an hour. Then texted my fiancée, "Your boyfriend's being weird. Tell him to chill." That's when I decided I was done being chill. Update 1. The interesting title comment didn't stop anything. Made it worse, actually. Day after he deleted the post, my fiancée got flowers at work. Card said, "Thinking of you and the kids." My kids. He said flowers mentioning my kids. Her coworkers thought it was sweet until she explained it was her ex who'd barely met them. Then they understood why she looked freaked out. That night, "Did you get the flowers? Someone appreciates you even when he doesn't." My fiancée wanted to send one final clear message before blocking him. "This has gone too far. Posting about kids who aren't yours, flowers at my work, constant messages, this is harassment. I'm blocking you. If you contact me any other way, we're filing a police report." His responses came fast. "Harassment? I'm being nice. You're so brainwashed you can't see it. Those kids need a real father, not some divorced loser. You'll regret this. You'll come crawling back." She blocked him everywhere. Phone, Facebook, Instagram, everything. Thought that was it. Few days later, my son comes home upset. Teacher pulled him aside because someone called the school asking questions about him. Who picks him up? what activities he does, if he had a stepdad. School wouldn't give out info and hung up, but they wanted us to know someone was asking. I knew it was him. Called the school, had them put notes on both kids' files that only their mother or I could make inquiries or do pickups. Anyone else calls or shows up, contact us immediately. My fiancé was panicking. I was past panic. I was pissed, but we didn't have enough for a restraining order yet. Started documenting everything. Screenshots, dates, details about the school call. Then came my daughter's birthday party. We rented a spot at one of those indoor play places. Big party. Her school friends, family, my ex-wife and her husband, my parents, siblings, fiancé's parents, lots of people. Middle of cake time, another parent comes up looking confused. Did you invite that guy? He's taking pictures of the kids. I look over. There he is, standing by the entrance with his phone out, photographing my kids at their birthday party. I walked straight up to him. What are you doing here? It's a public place. Just happened to be here. How did you know about this party? Facebook's great for that. You're blocked, and this is a private rental. Leave. Just wanted to see the kids. She talks about them so much I feel like I know them. My ex-wife's husband stepped in then. He's a cop, off duty, but still a cop. Sir, leave now or we're calling this in as trespassing. The guy looked around at all the parents staring at him. Whatever. This is ridiculous. He left, but took another photo on his way out. I saw him do it. I was shaking. My ex-wife asked what the hell that was about. I explained everything. She went pale. He's stalking her through your kids. You need to end this now. That night I went through every screenshot, every boundary-crossing text, every incident. Put it all in one document. Then I did something that felt petty but necessary. Made a Facebook post. Set it public. Tagged him. Posted the screenshots. The one where he called me a divorced loser. Where he said my kids needed a real father figure. The big one. Him asking when she'd dump me and come back to him. 3 days before the bonus dad post. My caption laid it all out. Why he got removed from a 6-year-old's birthday party. That he'd met these kids twice but called himself their bonus dad online. Sent workplace flowers after being told to stop. Called their school asking invasive questions. Showed up uninvited to photograph children without permission. Ended with posting this publicly so his family knows why we're filing a restraining order Monday. Tagged him and his mother. My fiancée was still Facebook friends with her. Apparently she was a sweet lady who had no idea what her son was doing. Hit post and waited. Update 2. Post went up on a Sunday night. My phone blew up immediately. Comments rolled in. Friends, family, people I barely knew. All supportive. Some sharing their own stalker ex stories. My ex-wife commented calling out what he'd done at our daughter's birthday. Then people started sharing it. Strangers were sharing it. The bonus dad thing, plus the screenshots hit a nerve. His mom called my fiancée. She was crying. I had no idea. I'm so sorry. I thought you two just had a bad breakup. I didn't know about any of this. My fiancé was kind. I know this isn't your fault, but he needs help. This has gotten to where we don't feel safe. I saw the post. I saw what he wrote about those children. I'm horrified. Please file for a restraining order. I'll support it. I'll testify if you need me to. Not what we expected, but we'd take it. Later that night he started commenting on the post, kept deleting them, but people screenshot before he could. This is defamation. I'm suing. You ruined my life because I cared about someone. Those screenshots are fake. You edited them. My own mother turning on me. This is unbelievable. Each comment made him look worse. People asked how screenshots with visible timestamps and phone numbers could be faked. By morning, the post had been shared hundreds of times. Someone tagged his employer. I didn't do that. Didn't even know where he worked. His friends were commenting asking what was going on. My fiancé woke up to messages from his relatives. His aunt, cousin, former roommate, all apologizing, saying they had no idea he was like this. We went to the courthouse, filed for a restraining order. The judge reviewing the paperwork looked at everything: texts, school call documentation, birthday party incident, witness statements, and granted a temporary order on the spot. This is textbook stalking, escalating toward children. Temporary order granted, full hearing in 2 weeks. We could breathe for the first time in weeks. That evening, my fiancé got a text from an unknown number. His mom, he's been served. Very upset, came crying to me saying you all ruined him. I told him he did this to himself. I'm so sorry for what he put you through. If you need anything for the hearing, I have screenshots too. He sent me messages last month complaining about your boyfriend's bratty kids. I didn't think much of it then, but now I see what it was. I'm here if you need me. We added her to our witness list, but he wasn't done. My work got a call. Someone claiming to be from State Family Services asking questions about me. About my kids, whether there were safety concerns at home, whether the children were in danger with my fiancé. My boss knew something was off. Questions were weirdly specific and accusatory. He refused to provide information and hung up. Then called me. Someone's trying to build a case against you. That wasn't a real state worker. Questions were designed to make you look bad. Called my ex-wife immediately. Anyone called you about the kids or me or my fiancé? Yeah, yesterday actually. Weird call asking if I had concerns about the children's safety with you and your girlfriend. I told them absolutely not. You're a great dad and she's wonderful. Why? He's manufacturing evidence. Probably thinks if he can prove we're unfit, it'll justify his behavior or get the restraining order dropped. She was livid. I'll document that call. Making false reports to state agencies is a crime. That night, another Facebook message. New account he'd created since we blocked him. You think you won? Turned everyone against me. My family thinks I'm crazy. I lost my job because of your post. They fired me, said I was a reputational liability. All because you couldn't handle someone else caring about your fiancé. Those kids need better role models. This isn't over. Screenshot. Forwarded to the lawyer we'd hired. My ex-wife's husband recommended someone who handles harassment cases. Lawyer's response. He's giving us more evidence. Keep documenting. Then my daughter came home from school confused. Daddy, my teacher said a man tried to pick me up today. He said he was my new stepdad. Everything stopped. What? Teacher said no and took me back inside. She said only you can pick me up. I called the school. Principal confirmed it. He'd shown up at dismissal, told staff he was there for my daughter. They checked the approved list. He wasn't on it. They refused. He left quickly. We have him on security footage. I'm filing a police report. This is attempted custodial interference. Another police report. Security footage obtained. More evidence for the case. The full restraining order hearing came up. We showed up with our lawyer, binders of evidence, witness statements from school, the play place, parents who saw him at the party, and his mother. He showed up alone. No lawyer. Looked rough, like he hadn't slept in days. Judge reviewed everything. His face got more severe as he read. Let me understand this. You posted photos of children you've met twice, calling yourself their stepfather. Contacted their school for personal information. Showed up uninvited to a private birthday party. Sent workplace flowers after being told to stop contact. Made false reports to state agencies. And attempted to pick up a 6-year-old from school, claiming to be her stepfather, when you have no legal relationship whatsoever. I was just trying to be supportive. She pushed me away for no reason. She told you multiple times to stop contact. That's a reason. These children aren't yours. You have no rights, no relationship, no basis for any of this. But we dated for 2 years. She ended that relationship. What you've done is stalking, harassment, and what could have been kidnapping if the school hadn't been careful. 3-year restraining order granted. No contact with the petitioner or her fiancé. Stay 500 feet from their homes, workplaces, and the children's school. No posting about them or the children on social media. Violation means immediate arrest. Understand? Quietly, yes. I'm also recommending the DA review for criminal charges regarding the false agency call and school incident. Dismissed. We walked out feeling like we could finally breathe. His mom was waiting outside, hugged my fiancé. I'm so sorry, I raised him better than this. I don't know what happened. My fiancé hugged back. Thank you for supporting us. I know this wasn't easy. He's my son, but what he did was wrong. Those babies don't deserve to be used like that. Neither of you deserve this. Final update. Been about 6 weeks since the restraining order. Figured I'd wrap this up. He's been completely silent. No contact, no new accounts, nothing. Either the order scared him or his mom talked sense into him. Either way, we haven't heard from him. The DA filed charges. 2 misdemeanors, false report to state agency, and attempted custodial interference. His court date's coming up. His mom mentioned to my fiancé he took a plea deal. Probation, mandatory counseling, community service. The Facebook post eventually died down, but not before some of those relationship drama accounts picked it up. Thousands of comments, people sharing their own crazy ex stories. Lots of supportive messages. Some people said I went too far, posting it publicly. Not sorry though. He made my kids part of his fantasy. Public deserved to know. My kids are fine. My daughter asked once more about the weird man from my party, and we explained simply that sometimes adults make bad choices, and he's not allowed near us anymore. She accepted it and moved on. Kids bounce back. School added extra security. Photo ID required for pickup now, security guard at dismissal. They were already careful, but this tightened things up. My ex-wife and I actually got closer through this. She had our backs immediately. Her husband used his connections to make sure police reports were taken seriously. We're better co-parents now than we've been since the divorce. My fiancé's still processing. Blames herself for not blocking him sooner, for trying to be nice about the breakup. I keep telling her she did nothing wrong. She was clear about boundaries, he refused to respect them. We postponed the wedding, not because of him. We both just need time to decompress. Still engaged, still together, still committed. Just want to get married without this cloud hanging over us. She's in therapy, working through the guilt and violation of someone she trusted turning into this. Her therapist says what he did was intimate partner stalking, and needing time to feel safe again is completely normal. His mom still checks in sometimes, sends birthday cards for the kids, asks how my fiancé's doing. She's genuinely sweet and horrified by what her son did. We're not close, but we're cordial. Biggest change? Way more careful with social media now. Fiancé's profiles are locked down tight, nothing public. Friends list pruned to only people we actually know and trust. No photos of kids' faces online anymore. If we post about them, it's from behind or at a distance. Do I regret posting those screenshots publicly? No. Could I have handled it differently? Maybe. But that post accomplished what months of blocking and ignoring didn't. It made him face consequences. Exposed his behavior to everyone he knew. Made his own family see who he really was. Some called it petty. I call it protective. He wasn't stopping until everyone knew exactly what he was doing. The divorce support group I'm in had a whole discussion about it. Most agreed when someone threatens your kid's safety, you do what you need to do. Few thought I should have gone straight to police without social media. Valid opinion, but police told us we needed more documentation before they could act. The post forced him to react in ways that gave us that documentation. Life's getting back to normal. My son made the school basketball team. My daughter's obsessed with gymnastics. Fiancé got a promotion. We're planning a quiet family vacation next month. Just the four of us at a beach rental. Kids still call her by her first name. She's not trying to be their mom. They have a mom who's active in their lives. She's building her own relationship with them. Bonus parent? I guess if you want to use that term. But not in the creepy possessive way her ex tried to claim. She earned it by being present. Packing lunches, helping with homework, showing up to school plays, not by posting photos after meeting them twice. That's the difference he never got. You don't get to claim a relationship with someone's kids because you want the title. You build it through time and trust and showing up consistently. He wanted the appearance without doing any work. The judge said something that stuck. Children are not props in your relationship drama. Exactly. My kids aren't accessories to make someone look family-oriented on Facebook. They're not tools to manipulate my fiancé. They're just kids who deserve to have their birthday party without some guy taking creepy photos. So that's where we are. Restraining order in place, criminal charges filed, family safe, moving forward. Someone asked if I think he ever understood what he did wrong. Honestly? No idea. His mom says he's in counseling and working on himself, but I don't know if that's real growth or just performing for court. Doesn't matter though, he's out of our lives. Legal system did its job. Support system rallied. Kids are safe. That's all I wanted. If there's a lesson, it's this. Trust your gut when boundaries get crossed. Document everything. Don't be polite to people harassing you. And if someone tries using your kids as pawns, burn that bridge and salt the earth. Oh, and maybe reconsider who sees your private Facebook photos. We're doing okay. Tired but okay. Ready to just be a normal, boring family without drama. Thanks to everyone who sent support. To the few who said I was too harsh, noted but respectfully disagree. To the person who DM'd about going through something similar. Hope you're safe now. Time to close this chapter and move on. Cool? Cool.
My fiancée's bachelorette party livestream showed her lap dancing for random guys. She didn't know I was tagged in the video. I didn't call, just forwarded it to her very religious grandmother who was paying for the wedding. The wedding got canceled within hours. I, 29 male, was supposed to get married in 3 weeks. Was. Past tense. My fiancée and I have been together for 4 years, engaged for 18 months. She's 27, works in pharmaceutical sales, comes from what I thought was a pretty conservative family. Her grandmother, who raised her after her parents' divorce, is extremely religious. Southern Baptist, church 3 times a week, the whole 9 yards. She's also loaded. Old money from her late husband's business. When we got engaged, she offered to pay for the entire wedding as her gift to us. We're talking $85,000 for a venue, catering, flowers, the works. My fiancé was thrilled. I was grateful, but honestly, would have been fine with something smaller. Her grandmother had one condition. The wedding had to be in a church, and we had to attend premarital counseling with her pastor. Fine. Whatever makes Grandma happy. The bachelorette party was last weekend. She went with her maid of honor, 2 bridesmaids, and her cousin. They flew out Thursday, coming back Sunday. Standard stuff. She texted me when they landed, sent a few photos of them at dinner, told me she loved me. Saturday night, I was home playing video games with my best man. Around 11 p.m., my phone buzzed. Instagram notification. Someone had tagged me in a video. I didn't recognize the account. It was some nightclub's promotional page. They post videos of people partying, standard nightclub marketing. The caption was something like, "Saturday nights hit different," with a bunch of hashtags. In the video, my fiancé was giving a lap dance to some random guy at a VIP table, full grinding, his hands on her hips, her dress riding up. She was laughing, having the time of her life. Then she moved to another guy at the same table. Same treatment. My best man saw my face go white. "Bro, what?" I showed him. He didn't say anything for a solid minute. Then, "That's definitely her." It was. Same dress she'd sent me a photo of earlier that night. Same group of friends visible in the background cheering her on. I watched the video maybe 10 times. Different guys, plural. Not just one drunken mistake. She was working that table like she was getting paid for it. One of the guys slipped what looked like cash into her dress. She took it and kept dancing. I didn't call her, didn't text, didn't say a word. Instead, I screenshot the video and forwarded it to her grandmother. I added one line. "I thought you should see this before you finalize the payment for the flowers tomorrow." Then I turned off my phone and went to bed. Woke up Sunday morning to absolute chaos. 43 missed calls, 89 text messages, voicemails from my fiancé, her maid of honor, her mom, her sister. The wedding was canceled. Her grandmother had apparently called her at 2 a.m. screaming, then called the venue and canceled the booking, then called the caterer, the florist, the photographer. One by one, she systematically dismantled the entire wedding. My fiancé's first text to me was, "What did you do?" Interesting. Not, "I'm sorry," not, "I can explain." Just immediate blame on me for showing someone what she did. Her follow-up texts ranged from angry to desperate to threatening. Said I'd ruined her life. Said the grandmother had completely cut her off. Said she'd never forgive me for this. Cool. Don't remember asking for forgiveness for forwarding a video you starred in, but okay. Her mom called me a vindictive little man. Her maid of honor said I was toxic for not giving her a chance to explain. Explain what? I watched her grind on multiple strangers while guys stuffed money in her dress. What's the explanation? Temporary amnesia? Here's what gets me, though. She hasn't apologized, not once. In 43 calls and 89 texts, not a single, "I'm sorry." Just anger that she got caught and anger that there were consequences. The grandmother called me yesterday, just to say she was sorry for what I was going through and that she'd raised her better than this. She also said the wedding deposits were non-refundable, but she'd rather lose $40,000 than watch me marry someone who doesn't respect marriage before it even starts. I thanked her, genuinely. That woman has more integrity than her entire family combined. My fiancé is demanding to talk in person. I've refused. What's left to say? She showed me exactly who she is when she thought no one was watching, or when she forgot the internet exists, I guess. The engagement ring was mine, bought with my money. Already contacted a jeweler about resale. Should get about 60% back. Not great, but better than nothing. Apartment lease is in my name. She's been staying with her maid of honor since she got back. Came by yesterday to get some of her stuff while I was at work. Took more than she should have, including my PlayStation. Texted her she had 24 hours to return it, or I'd report it stolen. She dropped it off this morning. So yeah, 3 weeks from what was supposed to be the happiest day of my life, I'm single, out a few thousand in various expenses, and processing the fact that the woman I was going to marry would take money to grind on strangers at a club. But at least I found out before the wedding. That's the silver lining I keep telling myself. Update 1, 5 days later. Things escalated pretty fast after my last post. First, some context people asked about. Yes, she knew she was being filmed. The club literally has signs everywhere saying they live stream and post content. Yes, she was tagged because someone recognized her from our joint Instagram, which I've since made private. And yes, her grandmother really did cancel everything within hours. I verified with the venues myself. Now, for what's happened since. Tuesday, 2 days after I posted, my fiancée showed up at my apartment unannounced. I was working from home. She still had her key, which I'd been meaning to change. She just walked in. "We need to talk," she said. I disagree. You don't get to just blow up my entire life and then ghost me. You don't get to give lap dances to random dudes at your bachelorette party and then act like I'm the bad guy. She sat down on the couch like she still lived there. It was my bachelorette party. Do you know what those are for? Last night of freedom. Every bride does crazy stuff. Every bride lets strangers put cash in her dress? She rolled her eyes. It was like $20 total. It was a joke. The guys were funny and bought us champagne. I was just being friendly. You were grinding on them. It's called dancing. God, you're so uptight. I stared at her. This was the woman I was going to marry. This person who genuinely saw nothing wrong with what she did. I want you to leave. No. Not until we work this out. You embarrassed me in front of my grandmother, in front of my whole family. Do you know what they're saying about me? Probably that you were lap dancing for strangers 3 weeks before your wedding. This isn't funny. I'm not laughing. She started crying then. The tears I'd been expecting since this whole thing started. I love you. I made one mistake. One. And you're throwing away 4 years because of it? You're throwing away 4 years. I just showed someone a video. To my grandmother. You could have come to me. We could have talked about it. But no, you went nuclear and now she's cut me out of the will. There it was. The real issue. Not that she'd hurt me. Not that she'd disrespected our relationship. That she'd lost access to Grandma's money. I think you should go. We're not done talking. Yeah, we are. I stood up, walked to the door and opened it. She sat there for another minute, like she was waiting for me to change my mind. When I didn't, she grabbed her purse and stormed out. You're going to regret this, she said. You'll never find anyone like me. That's the hope. Thursday, her mom called. This conversation was somehow worse. You need to fix this, she said. No hello. Fix what? My daughter is devastated. Her wedding is ruined. Her relationship with her grandmother is destroyed. And it's all because you couldn't handle a little harmless fun. Harmless fun? Bachelorette parties are supposed to be wild. That's the whole point. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas or wherever they were. Except it didn't stay there. It ended up on the internet, tagged to my name. So your ego got bruised. That's no reason to destroy a family. I almost laughed. I didn't destroy anything. Your daughter made choices. I showed someone those choices. The consequences are on her. She's been crying for days. She can't eat. She can't sleep. Are you happy? Not particularly. I'm dealing with my own stuff, like finding out my fiancé would grind on strangers for cash. It wasn't like that. I watched the video multiple times. It was exactly like that. She hung up on me. Friday, I got a letter from a lawyer. Not a lawsuit, just a demand letter. My ex was claiming she was entitled to reimbursement for various wedding expenses she'd paid out of pocket. Dress alterations, bachelorette party flights, deposits for things I'd apparently promised to cover but hadn't yet. Total demand, $8,400. I called my buddy who's a lawyer. He laughed for about 30 seconds. She has no case, he said. Wedding expenses aren't legally recoverable when an engagement ends, especially when the engagement ended due to her own actions. This is just harassment. Ignore it. So I ignored it. Saturday, things got weirder. Her maid of honor texted me from a new number. I'd blocked her old one. You're seriously not going to talk to her? She's a mess. She made a mistake. People deserve forgiveness. People also deserve to know who they're marrying before they marry them. She was drunk. She doesn't even remember half of it. That's not the defense you think it is. You're being so cold. This isn't the person she is. Apparently it is. You know what? You never deserved her anyway. She was settling. We all said it. Cool. Sounds like I did her a favor then. Blocked that number too. Sunday yesterday, I changed the locks. Should have done it immediately. The landlord was understanding when I explained the situation. Cost me $150, worth every penny. I've been sleeping better, actually. The first few nights were rough. Kept waking up, reaching for someone who wasn't there. But by day 4 or 5, I started feeling something unexpected. Relief. The more I think about it, the more red flags I remember. Times she'd get weirdly defensive about her phone. Nights she came home late from work events, smelling like alcohol. The way she'd flirt with waiters and bartenders and call it being friendly. I thought I was being paranoid. Turns out, I was being observant, still processing everything, still angry, still sad in weird moments, but also increasingly sure I dodged a bullet. Update 2 weeks later. Final update, probably. A lot has happened. Some of it satisfying, some of it messy, most of it just exhausting. After my last post, my ex escalated again. Her lawyer's demand letter got a formal response from my buddy. Did it for free, charged her attorney for the stamp. Basically said her claims had no legal merit and any further harassment would result in us pursuing a restraining order. That shut down the official legal stuff, but it didn't stop the personal attacks. Her cousin, one of the bridesmaids from the bachelorette party, reached out earlier this week. She was actually apologetic, said she'd tried to stop my ex from dancing like that but got shut down. Said the maid of honor was the one encouraging it, filming it, laughing about it. I feel terrible, she said. I should have called you that night. I almost did. Why didn't you? Honestly, I was scared of the blowback. She gets really mean when people call her out. I know that's not an excuse. It wasn't an excuse. But I appreciated the honesty. She also told me something I didn't know. Apparently my ex had been bragging to the group about how the wedding was basically free because Grandma was paying for everything. Said once they were married, she'd have it made because I had good career prospects and she could coast. Her words, according to the cousin. That stung more than the video, honestly. Learning you were a financial plan more than a partner. But here's where things get interesting. The grandmother called me again last week. We talked for almost an hour. She apologized again, said she'd been watching her granddaughter's behavior for years and hoping she'd grow out of it. The video was the final straw. "I've given that girl everything," she said. "Paid for her college, her car, her apartment for years, and she's never once shown gratitude, just entitlement." She told me she'd rewritten her will. My ex was out entirely. The cousin who tried to stop things, she's now the primary beneficiary. I didn't ask for this information. She volunteered it. I think she wanted me to know there were real consequences. There's more. My ex's company found out about the video. Someone at the nightclub apparently posted it to Twitter, and it went mildly viral in a bachelorette party gone wrong kind of way. One of her co-workers recognized her. It got back to her manager. Pharmaceutical sales is all about relationships and trust. Looking professional matters. Having a video of yourself doing that doesn't exactly scream, "Trust me with your medical decisions." She wasn't fired, but she was transitioned to an inside sales role. No more client visits, significant pay cut. Her maid of honor texted me from yet another new number, blaming me for leaking the video. I didn't leak anything. The club posted it publicly. The internet did what the internet does. I just forwarded it to one person. Everything else was organic consequences of her own choices. But of course, it's still somehow my fault. Last Tuesday, she showed up at my apartment again. This time she couldn't get in because of the new locks. She sat outside my door for 2 hours. I know because my neighbor texted me updates. She's crying. She's on the phone yelling at someone. She's writing something. Note maybe. When I got home from work, there was a 4-page letter slid under my door. I'll summarize. Page 1, how much she loves me and how we're meant to be together. Page 2, how this was all a misunderstanding and I overreacted. Page 3, how everyone has abandoned her, grandmother, family, now her job is suffering, and it's not fair. Page 4, how if I don't take her back, she'll have nothing left and can't be responsible for what happens. That last part made me uncomfortable. I called her mom. "Your daughter left a letter that sounds like she might hurt herself. I'm telling you so you can check on her. This is the last contact I'm having with your family." Her mom's response? "If she does anything, it's your fault. You did this to her." I hung up and blocked her number. Also saved the letter and documented the call just in case. The cousin reached out again yesterday. Said my ex was fine, just being dramatic for attention. Said the family was handling it, but that everyone was exhausted by her behavior. Apparently this wasn't the first time she'd pulled the "I'll hurt myself" card to manipulate a situation. I felt relief and guilt for feeling relief, and then more relief. So where does that leave me? I got about $4,200 back from the ring resale. Less than I hoped, but enough to cover the various deposits I'd personally paid that weren't refundable. The apartment is mine again, cleaned it top to bottom, rearranged the furniture, made it feel like my space instead of our space. I've been seeing a therapist, just started last week, already helpful. She pointed out something I hadn't considered. I made a decision in the moment, based on instinct. I didn't scheme or plan revenge. I just showed someone the truth and let the chips fall. That's not vindictive. That's honest. My ex's grandmother sent me a card in the mail. Actual card, with a handwritten note. She thanked me for having more integrity than most men twice your age. Said she'd pray for me. Coming from her, that means something. Do I feel bad about how things went down? Sometimes. Late at night, mostly. 4 years is a long time. There were good moments. I loved who I thought she was, but I don't regret what I did. She showed me who she really is when she thought no one was watching. The grandmother deserved to know before she spent $85,000 on a wedding that was built on lies. My ex never apologized. Not once, in all those calls and texts and letters, she blamed me, blamed the club, blamed her friends, blamed the internet. Never once said, "I made a mistake, and I'm sorry. That tells me everything I need to know. I'm not dating anyone, not looking to. My therapist says I need time to process, and she's right. I'm focusing on work, friends, figuring out who I am outside of a relationship I thought would last forever. It's weird. 3 weeks ago, I was planning a wedding. Now I'm planning how to be single at 29 and starting over. Life's funny that way. But I'd rather start over than spend my life with someone who doesn't respect me. Someone who thinks she can do whatever she wants and blame everyone else for the consequences. Thanks for following this mess. Time to move forward. One last thing. The nightclub video is still up. I checked. It has about 400,000 views now. Some consequences are permanent. Hers will follow her forever. And that's not my fault. That's just the internet. Peace. My fiancé's family confronted me. Our daughter says you're abusive. We're taking her home. I said, please do. Then I played the recording of her coaching her sister on how to fake bruises for sympathy. When the police. They'd called, heard the truth. I, 31 male, need to write this down before my hands stop shaking. This literally happened 2 hours ago. My fiancé and I have been together for 4 years, engaged for 6 months. Wedding's supposed to be in 3 months, or was. Past tense now, I guess. Last week, she started acting weird, pulling away when I'd hug her, flinching dramatically when I'd reach for something near her. I asked what was wrong multiple times. She'd just say, nothing, and change the subject. Yesterday, she went to stay at her parents' place, said she needed space to think. I figured wedding stress, maybe cold feet, told her to take all the time she needed. This afternoon, her entire family shows up at our apartment. Her dad, mom, and her younger sister. The sister's 26 and has been living with her parents for the past year after her own relationship imploded. Real piece of work, that one. Her dad doesn't even wait for me to fully open the door, just pushes past me into the living room. We need to talk. Now. I'm confused, but okay. Sure. What's going on? Her mom's crying, like full waterworks. How could you? We trusted you with our baby girl. I'm sorry, what? Her dad steps up, gets right in my face. Don't play dumb. Our daughter told us everything. The hitting, the verbal abuse, the controlling behavior. My brain just stopped. What? I've never hit her. Ever. What are you talking about? The sister chimes in, arms crossed, smug look on her face. She has bruises. We've seen them. On her arms, her ribs. Bruises? From what? I don't... Enough! Her dad's yelling now. We're taking her home, away from you. She's terrified of you, you sick bastard. Here's the thing. 2 nights ago, I couldn't sleep. Went to get water around 2 a.m. and heard my fiancé on the phone in the spare bedroom. The door was cracked open. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but I heard her sister's voice on speaker. And what I heard made my blood run cold. No, you need to do it higher up on your arm, where it looks like someone grabbed you. My fiancé. Like this? With the makeup? Not makeup, dummy. Use the actual technique I showed you, the toothbrush thing against the ruler. Leaves real marks that fade in a few days, but photograph well. And you're sure this worked for you? Got me 15Ks in the settlement and full sympathy from everyone. Mom still doesn't know the truth, lol. Just make sure you document everything. Take photos. Act scared around him. Then when we tell them, they'll believe anything. What if he denies it? They always do. That's the point. But with photos and us backing you up, plus you can crash at home and act traumatized. Trust me, you'll come out way ahead. I stood there frozen, listening to them plan to destroy my life. My fiancé, the woman I was going to marry, laughing about framing me for abuse. I recorded the rest of the conversation. Then I spent the next 2 days acting normal while secretly consulting a lawyer and documenting everything in our apartment. Every camera angle, every interaction we had. I even set up my phone to record our conversations just in case. So when her dad's standing there calling me an abuser, I'm weirdly calm. Okay, I say. If that's what she told you, then yeah, please take her home. They all look confused. Her mom stops crying for a second. That's it? Her sister looks almost disappointed. You're not even going to defend yourself? Nope. If she wants to leave, she should leave. In fact, let me help. I go to our bedroom, grab the suitcase she'd already packed, Noticed it this morning, and bring it to the living room. Here, I assume she'll need this. Her dad's getting red in the face. That's all you have to say after what you did? What exactly did I do, specifically? Her mom, you know what you did. The bruises, the yelling, making her feel trapped. Interesting. And you've seen these bruises? Of course we have. Don't try to, because I'd love to see them too, since I apparently caused them. Her sister jumps in. She doesn't need to prove anything to you. We believe her. Cool, cool, cool. I pull out my phone. Before you go, there's something you should hear. I play the recording. The whole thing. 4 minutes of my fiancée and her sister planning to frame me for domestic violence. The room goes dead silent except for their voices coming from my phone speaker. Use the toothbrush thing against the ruler. Got me $15K in the settlement. Act traumatized. Her mom's face goes from sympathy to horror. Her dad just stares at the phone. The sister's trying to grab it, but I step back. When it ends, nobody says anything for a solid 10 seconds. Then her dad. Where did you get that? Recorded it 2 nights ago, from my own apartment, which is legal in this state. BTW, one-party consent. Her sister's scrambling now. That's out of context. That was just what? Just my fiancé and you planning to fake abuse allegations? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Her mom's crying again, but different now, like she's realizing something. Is this true? Did you help her fake this? The sister. Mom, no. He's twisting it. I'm twisting the recording of your actual voices? Okay. There's a knock on the door. Hard, official knock. Her dad smirks. That'll be the police. We called them on the way over, told them there was an active domestic violence situation. My stomach drops, but I keep my face neutral. You called the cops, before even talking to me. Damn right we did. I open the door. 2 officers, 1 older guy, and 1 younger woman. They look tired already. Older cop. We got a call about a domestic disturbance? Her dad pushes forward. Yes, this man has been abusing our daughter. She has bruises, she's terrified. The female cop holds up her hand. Sir, let us handle this. Where's the alleged victim? She's not here. She's at our house. Safe. The cops look at each other. Younger one. So there's no immediate danger right now? No, but... And the alleged victim isn't present? We have photos, and our other daughter witnessed the abuse. I speak up. Officers, before this goes further, there's something you need to hear. I explain the situation calmly. Tell them about the recording. Offer to play it. The older cop looks skeptical, but nods. All right, let's hear it. I play the recording again. Watch their faces change as they listen. The female cop's expression goes from neutral to disgusted. When it ends, she looks at the family. So let me get this straight. You're here claiming abuse, but this recording suggests the alleged victim was planning to fabricate evidence? Her dad's stammering now. It's not what it sounds like. It sounds like conspiracy to file a false police report and possible fraud. The older cop's not smiling anymore. That's a serious crime, folks. The sister's freaking out. You can't arrest us, we didn't do anything. Nobody's getting arrested right now, the female cop says. But we're going to need to investigate this properly. This recording is evidence of potential criminal activity. I hand them my phone. I can email you the file. I've also got it backed up in 3 places. Her mom finds her voice. This is a misunderstanding. Maybe they were just joking. Ma'am, planning false abuse allegations isn't a joke. It's illegal, and it wastes our resources on fake cases while real victims need help. The cops take everyone's information. Tell the family they'll be in contact. Warn them against contacting me or interfering. Then they leave, and the family's just standing there. I break the silence. Get out of my apartment. Her dad tries one more time. Look, maybe we overreacted. You called the cops on me, accused me of beating your daughter, based on lies she invented with her sister. Get out. Her mom's pleading now. Can't we just talk about this? Sort it out? The wedding? There's no wedding. There's no relationship. There's nothing. Your daughter tried to destroy my life for... what? Money? Sympathy? Entertainment? The sister mutters. This is so unfair. I actually laugh. Unfair? Unfair? You coached someone to fake domestic violence. Do you have any idea what that does to actual victims? To people who really suffer abuse? I just wanted to help my sister. Help her commit fraud. Help her ruin an innocent person. Yeah, Sister of the Year right here. They leave. Finally. Take the suitcase with them. I close the door, lock it, and just slide down to the floor. 4 years, almost married this person. And she was ready to destroy me over, I don't even know what. The recording didn't mention why, just how. My hands are still shaking. But at least the cops know the truth. At least I have proof. Gonna call my lawyer tomorrow. Tonight I'm just trying to process that my whole life almost exploded. Holy crap. I didn't expect this to blow up. Thanks for all the support, but also, thanks for the reality checks. Some of you pointed out stuff I hadn't even considered yet. So here's what's happened since. The day after the confrontation, I got a text from my fiancée, from a number I didn't recognize, so she must have used someone else's phone. We need to talk. This is all a huge misunderstanding. I love you. Please call me. I screenshot it and sent it to my lawyer. Didn't respond. Then her mom called. I let it go to voicemail. She left a 3-minute message crying and begging me to think about the family and not destroy my daughter's lives over a mistake. A mistake. That's what she called planning false abuse allegations. A mistake. My lawyer, who's this no-nonsense woman in her 50s, called me the next morning. Don't engage with any of them, at all. Forward me everything. Every text, email, voicemail, everything. She also told me something I hadn't considered. Even though I have the recording, there's still going to be fallout. In situations like this, the initial accusation sticks in people's minds, even when proven false. She was right. 2 of our mutual friends texted asking if I was okay and if I needed to talk to someone, the implication being that I'm the problem. When I tried to explain what really happened, one of them said, "That's what they all say," and blocked me. My ex-fiancé's best friend posted on social media, supporting my girl through a really hard time, sending love and strength. If you know, you know. The comments were full of people bashing me. He seemed so nice. Abusers always hide it well. Hope she's safe now. I wanted to respond. My lawyer said absolutely not. Let them show their cards, every post, every comment, it all helps your case. Case. Because yeah, it's officially a case now. The cops followed up. Turns out when they went to interview my ex-fiancée, she stuck to her story, showed them bruises on her arms and ribs. They took photos, documented everything. Then they asked about the recording. She denied it was her voice, said I must have faked it somehow. Deep fake or editing or something. The sister backed her up, claimed I was a tech-savvy manipulator who was trying to make them look bad. Her parents just stayed quiet. I think they know the truth, but they're not about to throw their daughters under the bus. So now it's a he said, she said thing. Except I have actual audio evidence, and they have bruises that they literally inflicted on themselves. My lawyer got the recording analyzed by a forensic audio expert. Cost me $200, but worth it. His report confirms it hasn't been edited or manipulated. It's genuine, unaltered audio of 2 people planning fraud. Here's where the entitlement really ramped up, though. Yesterday, I got served with a restraining order request. My ex-fiancée is claiming she's in fear for her safety and needs legal protection from me. The irony. She's afraid of me after she tried to frame me for abuse. The hearing's in 2 weeks. My lawyer says we'll bring the recording, the expert analysis, everything. But until then, I technically can't go near her or contact her at all, which is fine by me. I don't want to see her anyway, but it gets better. Last night, someone posted a Google review for my small business. I do freelance IT consulting. 1 star, anonymous account. Owner is abusive to women. Wouldn't feel safe hiring him. Heard stories from his ex. Stay away. 3 more popped up this morning. Same basic message. All anonymous. All posted within 12 hours of each other. My business rating dropped from 4.8 to 3.2 overnight. I've already lost 2 client calls that were scheduled. I documented everything and sent it to my lawyer. She says we can prove defamation, but it'll take time. Meanwhile, my income is taking a hit. My lease is up in 2 months. I'm planning to move. New place. Fresh start. But I'm also worried about being able to afford it if my business keeps getting tanked. Some of you asked why she did this. Honestly, I still don't know. We didn't fight about money. I wasn't controlling. She had her own accounts, her own friends, went wherever she wanted. The only thing I can think of is that her sister put her up to it. The sister's been bitter since her own breakup. She got some settlement money by crying abuse, according to the recording, and maybe she convinced my ex to do the same. Or maybe my ex just wanted an easy out from the wedding and figured she'd burn my life down on the way. I don't know. What I do know is that this isn't over. Not by a long shot. They're fighting back, trying to control the narrative, playing victim. But I've got truth on my side. And apparently that matters more than I thought it would. Next update after the restraining order hearing. Hopefully with better news. Restraining order hearing was yesterday. Buckle up. My ex-fiancée showed up with her parents, her sister, and a lawyer. Decent lawyer too, not some bargain attorney. Which makes me think her family's funding this whole thing. She wore a turtleneck. In summer. The implication was obvious. When we got into the courtroom, her lawyer went first. Painted this picture of me as this controlling monster who isolated her, criticized her constantly, and eventually got physical. My client has documented bruises on her arms, torso, and neck. She's terrified to be in the same room as him. She needs this protection order to feel safe. The judge, an older black woman who looked like she'd seen everything, asked to see the photos. They had a whole folder, professionally printed photos of bruises, close-ups, different angles. My ex's face in some of them, looking scared. My stomach dropped. Even knowing the truth, seeing those photos was rough. They looked real. They looked convincing. Then my lawyer stood up. Your Honor, we acknowledge these photos exist. However, we have evidence that these injuries were self-inflicted for the purpose of framing my client. She submitted the audio recording, the forensic analysis, and a timeline showing my ex went to her parents' house the same day the family confronted me, conveniently right after the coaching conversation. The judge listened to the recording. Her expression didn't change, but I saw her jaw tighten. When it finished, she looked at my ex-fiancé. Is this your voice on this recording? No, Your Honor. He manipulated it somehow. The forensic analysis shows no manipulation. Then he hired someone to impersonate me. You would never discuss faking bruises with your sister? My ex-fiancé's lawyer jumped in. Your Honor, even if this recording is genuine, it doesn't prove that the bruises seen in these photos are fake. My client may have been discussing a hypothetical situation or she followed through with the plan detailed in the recording, my lawyer cut in. The timeline matches perfectly. The bruises appear right after this conversation, and my client has evidence that he and the petitioner had minimal physical contact in the days leading up to these allegations. We had security camera footage from our apartment building showing us leaving and entering separately, no arguments, no physical altercations. I'd also pulled our text messages showing normal, affectionate conversations right up until she asked for space. The judge reviewed everything for what felt like forever. Finally, she spoke. I'm denying the restraining order. The evidence suggests these allegations may be fabricated. However, I'm ordering both parties to maintain distance from each other pending the criminal investigation. Mutual, no contact. My ex-fiancé's lawyer tried to object, but the judge shut it down. Counselor, if your client genuinely believes she's in danger, she can work with law enforcement on the ongoing investigation. But I will not issue a restraining order based on potentially false allegations. That's not what this court is for. We left the courthouse separately. I thought that was it. But nope. That night, my landlord called. Hey, I need to talk to you about something. Apparently, someone, wouldn't say who but we both know, filed a complaint with the property management company claiming I was a danger to other residents. Said I had a history of violence and shouldn't be allowed to renew my lease. My landlord's known me for 3 years. He doesn't believe it, but his hands are tied. The company's policy is zero tolerance for domestic violence allegations. I'm really sorry, man. I know this is BS, but corporate's making me give you notice. You've got 60 days. So now I'm being forced out of my apartment because of false allegations that didn't even stick in court. My lawyer says we can fight it, but it'll take longer than 60 days and probably cost more than it's worth. Fine. I started apartment hunting. Then came the employment drama. I got a call from my biggest client. They're a mid-size company I do ongoing IT work for. The CEO wanted to meet in person. I showed up thinking it was about a new project. Nope. Listen, this is awkward, he starts. We received some concerning information about you. My chest tightens. What kind of information? Anonymous tip. Said you're under investigation for domestic violence. Included screenshots of social media posts about it. Those posts are based on false allegations. I can prove. I believe you. I do. But our legal team is worried about liability. If something happens and it comes out, we knew about this and still worked with you. Nothing's going to happen. The restraining order was denied. The judge saw the evidence. It's not about what I believe or what a judge rules. It's about perception. I'm sorry, but we're going to have to pause our contract, at least until this all gets resolved. That was $4,000 a month in steady income. Gone. I've lost 3 other smaller clients too. One just stopped responding to emails. Another sent a curt message about going in a different direction. The third straight up said they didn't feel comfortable working with me. My business is bleeding out, and there's nothing I can do about it except wait for the legal system to work. Oh, and the sister? She's apparently telling everyone I threatened her during the initial confrontation. Never happened, but try proving a negative. My ex-fiancé's social media is full of vague posting. Staying strong, truth always wins, believe women. The comments are disgusting. People calling for my business to be shut down, saying I should be in jail, hoping I get what's coming to me. Some gem comments. Men like this always play the victim. He probably recorded that conversation after threatening her. Why are we believing a man over a woman in 2024? Nobody asks for proof. Nobody questions the narrative. They just pile on. But here's the thing that keeps me going. The detective assigned to the case called yesterday. We've completed our investigation. The audio evidence is solid. Your ex-fiancée and her sister are going to be charged. Charged with what? Filing a false police report, conspiracy to commit fraud, potentially criminal defamation. The DA's office is reviewing it now. How long until charges are filed? Few weeks, maybe a month. These things move slow, but wanted you to know it's happening, so they're getting charged. Finally. But meanwhile, my reputation's destroyed, my income's tanked, and I'm getting evicted from my apartment. This is the reality of false accusations. Even when you prove you're innocent, even when you have evidence, the damage is done. The court of public opinion doesn't care about recordings or forensic analysis. They care about the story. And the story is always that the man is guilty. My family's been supportive, at least. My mom's furious. My dad offered to pay for my lawyer if I needed it. My brother wanted to confront the sister himself, but I told him to stay out of it. Moving forward is harder than I thought. Some days I'm okay, functional. Other days I can barely get out of bed. But I'm still here. Still fighting. Still got that recording backed up in 5 different places. Next update will be after charges are filed, if they actually follow through. Charges were filed 3 weeks ago. My ex-fiancée and her sister are both facing criminal charges, filing a false police report, conspiracy to commit fraud, and making false statements to law enforcement. The arraignment was last week. They both pled not guilty. Trial's set for 4 months from now. My lawyer says it's a solid case. The recording, the timeline, the forensic analysis, it all points to premeditated fraud. But trials are unpredictable. Meanwhile, the fallout continues. I found a new apartment, smaller, more expensive, but it's mine. Started fresh. Got rid of furniture that reminded me of her. New place, new setup, trying to rebuild. My business hasn't recovered. I'm down to maybe 40% of my previous income. Had to dip into savings to cover bills. Applied for some full-time positions, but 3 interviews got weird when they Googled my name and found the social media garbage. One interviewer straight up asked about the allegations. I explained the situation, showed him the court documents denying the restraining order. He nodded along, but I didn't get the job. The Google reviews are still there. I reported them multiple times, but Google won't remove them without a court order. My lawyer says we can get one eventually, but it's not a priority compared to the criminal case. Here's what really gets me. I'm the victim of attempted fraud and defamation, but I'm the one who lost my apartment, my income, and my reputation. They're facing charges, sure, but their lives are basically the same. My ex-fiancée still lives with her parents, still posts on social media, still has her job. Her friends still support her. The sister's working some retail job, living her life like nothing happened, and I'm rebuilding from scratch. Some of you asked if I feel vindicated now that charges are filed. Honestly? No. I feel tired. Vindication would be getting my life back, my business back, my reputation back. The charges don't do that. But I did learn some things. 1. Document everything. If I hadn't recorded that conversation, I'd be completely screwed right now. Nobody would believe me. 2. The system is brutally slow. This started 2 months ago, and we're still months away from trial. 3. False allegations destroy lives even when they're proven false. There's no quick fix for a ruined reputation. 4. Some people will never believe you. Doesn't matter how much proof you have. They've picked their side. I lost friends through this. People I'd known for years just disappeared. Either believed her story or didn't want to get involved. The ones who stayed are real ones, though. My best friend has been checking on me weekly. My family's been solid. A few clients who've known me for years reached out offering work. Slowly, carefully, I'm rebuilding. New business website, new marketing, focusing on referrals from people who actually know me. It's working. Kinda. I got 2 new contracts last week. Not huge, but it's something. The detective called with an update. Apparently, during her police interview, my ex-fiancée claimed I was psychologically abusive, even if I never hit her. Moved the goalposts when the physical abuse claims fell apart. Her lawyer's trying to paint the recording as taken out of context, arguing that her discussing bruise faking with her sister doesn't prove she actually did it. Except we have the photos timestamped right after the conversation, and 0 evidence of me causing those injuries. And her own words on tape saying, the toothbrush thing. My lawyer's confident. But confidence doesn't pay bills or fix reputations. I went on 1 date last week. First time putting myself out there. It went okay until she asked about my previous relationships. I kept it vague, but she Googled me afterward and found the posts. She texted, "Hey, I had fun, but I don't think this is going to work out. Good luck with everything." Cool. So dating's probably off the table for a while too. Someone asked what the wedding would have cost. We'd already put down deposits. Venue, $5,000. Photographer, $2,000. Catering deposit, $3,000. Most of it was non-refundable. I'm out $10,000 for a wedding that never happened, plus another $8,000 in legal fees so far, plus lost income from the business damage. The financial hit alone is brutal, but the emotional and social damage, that's the part that keeps me up at night. This woman I loved, planned a future with, was ready to destroy me, and she almost succeeded. The hardest part is accepting that I'll never really know why. Was it her sister's influence? Cold feet about the wedding? Some resentment I never saw? I've stopped trying to figure it out. There's no good answer. As for where things stand now, criminal trial is in 4 months. I'm slowly rebuilding my business. Found a new place and trying to make it feel like home. No contact with her or her family. Easy since that's court-ordered. Trying to move forward 1 day at a time. People keep asking if I'm dating or if I'll ever trust again. Honestly, I don't know. Right now, I'm just focused on surviving this. The trial will happen. Maybe they'll be convicted, maybe not. Either way, my life won't magically go back to normal. But I'm here. I'm standing. I've got proof of my innocence. And I'm not letting this break me. That's going to have to be enough. Thanks for following this mess. If nothing else, maybe it'll help someone else who's going through similar garbage. Document everything. Get a lawyer immediately. And don't expect justice to be quick or clean. It's messy. It's slow. And even when you win, you lose. But you survive. That's what matters. I'll update if anything major happens with the trial. Until then, I'm just living my life and trying not to let them take anything else from me. Peace out.
My fiancé texted, "I shredded your passport because you're too obsessed with work travel. Now you're staying home. I had a flight to my brother's destination wedding in 6 hours." I responded, "Noted." Then I went to the emergency passport office, got a new one, and flew out. When I returned 2 weeks later with annulment papers from an attorney I'd met at the wedding, I-33 Mail was closing a deal when the text came through. My wife. Yeah. Married 3 weeks ago in a courthouse ceremony she'd pushed hard for. Should have seen that red flag waving. The photo loaded first. My passport, shredded into confetti, sitting in our kitchen garbage. Then the text. You're not going to your brother's wedding? 2 weeks away from me? No. I shredded your passport. You're staying home where you belong. We need to work on US. My flight was in 6 hours. The wedding started in 4 days. I stared at that photo for maybe 10 seconds. Then something clicked. Crystal clear. This wasn't a tantrum. This was who she was. Had been the whole time. I'd just been too stupid to see it. Typed back, noted. Immediately called my assistant. Need the nearest passport agency that does same-day emergency service. I'll pay whatever it costs. She called back in 3 minutes. Found one downtown. They do emergency passports, but you need proof of imminent international travel. I have my boarding pass. Book me an Uber. Left the office. Didn't even grab my coat. My phone started blowing up. Ignored it. Made it to the passport agency at 2:30 p.m. The clerk looked at my shredded passport photo, my flight confirmation, and my face. Your wife did this? Soon-to-be ex-wife. She actually smiled. Let's get you to that wedding. $400 in fees later, I had a 5 p.m. appointment. They'd have my emergency passport ready by 8 p.m. Flight was 11:30 p.m. Went back to the office. Packed my laptop. My phone showed 31 missed calls, 52 texts. Forwarded all of them to a folder titled Evidence. Got my passport at 8:07 p.m. Took an Uber straight to the airport. Checked in. Grabbed a whiskey at the gate. Finally read her messages. Started with, "Baby, where are you? We need to talk about this like adults." Escalated to, "You're being childish. Marriage means compromise." Then, "If you get on that plane, I'm changing the locks and throwing your stuff out." Final message, "Fine, go. When you come back, you'll see what happens when you choose your family over your wife." I replied while boarding, "See you in 2 weeks. Maybe." Blocked her number, ordered another whiskey. First time I'd breathed properly in weeks. Update 1. The wedding. The wedding was incredible. Beach ceremony, sunset, my brother marrying the love of his life. Everything a wedding should be. Day 2. I told my parents what happened. Showed them the texts, the passport shreds. My mom went silent. That scary mom silent. My dad said, "You're annulling this today." I know. 3 weeks married and she's destroying federal documents? Son, that's not a wife, that's a warden. My brother found me at the beach bar that night. "Dude, I have to be honest, I never liked her." "Why didn't you say something? Would you have listened?" "Probably not." She gave me weird vibes, super intense. Asked me 3 times if you were really committed to our family or just pretending. She what? Yeah, at your wedding, like she was checking if you'd pick her over us. That explains so much. That night I met another wedding guest at the bar. Turned out she's a family law attorney. We got talking. I explained my situation. She listened, sipped her wine, then said, "You have grounds for annulment, easy ones. 3 weeks? Fraud, coercion, destruction of property to control behavior. Any judge would grant it. How fast? I practice in your state. Just moved there 6 months ago. If you're serious, I can file the paperwork the day we get back. You could be legally single in 6 weeks." I'm serious. Good. Bring me everything. Every text, every threat. That passport photo will bury her. Spent the rest of the trip actually enjoying myself. My brother noticed, "You look different." I'm getting out, I have a lawyer. Thank God, that passport thing, unhinged behavior. We flew back 2 weeks later. I'd gotten maybe 3 texts from her the whole time, sent from random numbers since I'd blocked her. "You need to come home, we need to talk. I'm sorry, I overreacted. Please, you're making a huge mistake." Landed Sunday evening. Took an Uber to our apartment. Her car was there, used my key, still worked. So much for changing the locks. Walked in, she was on the couch in a tight dress, makeup perfect, hair done, the whole production. "Welcome home, baby." Jumped up, tried to hug me. I stepped back. "No." "What? Baby, I missed you. Look, I made dinner, your favorite. Can we just—" "I'm filing for annulment tomorrow. I met with an attorney at the wedding." The smile died. "What? Annulment? 3 weeks of marriage. You destroyed my passport to control my behavior. That's fraud and coercion. We're done. You can't. That was a mistake. I was upset. A mistake is forgetting to buy milk. You committed a federal crime. It's my passport too. We're married." "That's not how passports work, and we won't be married much longer." Her face shifted. Sweet to confused to furious in seconds. "You're really doing this? Over a passport? Over you showing me exactly who you are. Someone who destroys things to control people. That doesn't get better. It gets worse. We can fix this. Therapy. I'll change. Nope. I walked to the bedroom, started packing. She followed. Where are you going? Hotel, then my parents' place. You can have the apartment. You're on the lease. I added you last month. I stopped. Did you forge my signature? Her face gave it away. Cool. Adding that to the paperwork. Kept packing. She started crying. Real tears this time. Please, I love you. I just got scared. You travel so much and I thought if you controlled me, I'd stay. That's not love. That's hostage taking. I quit my job for you. That was news. When? Last week. I thought we'd start a family. I never asked you to quit, never discussed starting a family. You made that choice. You owe me. I owe you nothing. Finished packing, grabbed my suitcase. She blocked the door. Move. No, we're going to talk about this. Move or I call the cops. She moved, barely. I walked out. She followed me down the hallway, crying, begging, promising everything. Got in my Uber. She banged on the window. You'll regret this. Everyone will know what you did. The Uber driver looked at me. Ex-wife? Current wife? For about 6 more weeks. Dang. Good luck, man. Checked into a hotel, called my attorney. File first thing tomorrow. I want this done. You got it. Bring everything. Best night's sleep I'd had in months. Update 2. Filed the annulment papers Monday morning. My attorney was brutal and efficient. This is one of the clearest fraud cases I've seen. She destroyed federal documents, forged your signature on a lease, made threats. You're golden. She got served Wednesday at the apartment. Thursday morning, 6:47 a.m., my hotel phone rang. Mr. Last name, there's a woman in our lobby claiming to be your wife. She's demanding access to your room. We've asked her to leave. She's refusing. Went downstairs in my bathrobe. She was there, makeup smeared in yesterday's clothes, causing a scene. You can't just leave me. She screamed when she saw me. Hotel security was already positioned nearby. Ma'am, you need to leave, the guard said. I'm his wife. We're married. He can't just. I can, and I did. Leave. I quit my job for you. You owe me. You quit your job without asking me. That's on you. She tried to lunge at me. Security caught her. She was escorted out, screaming about lawyers and how I'd ruined her life. I went back to my room, filed a police report, called my attorney. She showed up at my hotel. Security removed her. Want me to send you the incident report? Absolutely. This helps immensely. That afternoon, the voicemail started. Her mom, how dare you abandon my daughter? She gave up everything for you. Her sister, you manipulated her into marriage and now you're throwing her away like trash. Her best friend, she told me you pushed her. I'm reporting you. That last one made my blood run cold. False DV accusation. My life could be over with one lie. Called my attorney immediately. She's threatening to claim domestic violence. Did she file a report? Not yet. She won't. She has no evidence. You have hotel security footage showing her attacking you. Don't engage. Friday, I went to get more of my stuff from the apartment. Brought my brother as a witness. She wasn't there. We packed fast. As we loaded the last box, she pulled up. Jumped out of her car. What the hell are you doing? Getting my things. Those are ours. These are my clothes, my electronics, my books. You can keep everything else. Started pulling things out of boxes. No, you can't leave me with nothing. My brother stepped between us. Lady, back off. This is between me and my husband. Soon-to-be ex-husband, I corrected. She turned to me. You told your family? You embarrassed me to everyone. You embarrassed yourself. I just documented it. We loaded the car. She followed us down, screaming. Neighbors were recording on their phones. Great. Got to my parents' house. Work my mom had made up my old room. You're doing the right thing, she said. Didn't feel like it. Felt like I was nuking my life over a passport. But I knew it wasn't about the passport. It was about what the passport represented. That weekend, my attorney called. She's contesting the annulment. Of course. Her lawyer's claiming you lured her into marriage with promises of financial support, then abandoned her when she'd sacrificed everything for you. I didn't even know she quit until she told me. I know, we have evidence, but she's dragging this out. How long? Maybe 3 months. She thinks you'll give up and pay her off to make it go away. Not happening. Good. That's what I wanted to hear. The next week was chaos. She called my office claiming I'd stolen money from her. HR investigated, found nothing, issued her a cease and desist. She showed up at my parents' house at 1:30 a.m., drunk, pounding on the door. My dad called the cops. They removed her. I filed for a restraining order. She contested it. At the hearing, she claimed I was withholding financial support and alienating her from her family. The judge looked at the evidence. The passport, the hotel incident, the 1 a.m. drunk visit. Restraining order granted, 500 feet, 1 year, no contact except through attorneys. She sobbed. Her mom yelled at the judge. Both were escorted out by bailiffs. My attorney smiled. That just made the annulment a slam dunk. Update 3. Final. The annulment hearing was 8 weeks after I got back from the wedding. I wore a suit. She wore white, a white dress. To our annulment hearing, her attorney went first. Claimed I'd seduced her into marriage under false pretenses, promised to provide for her, then cruelly abandoned her when she'd sacrificed her career. My attorney stood up. Submitted. The timeline showing we dated 6 months before she pushed for immediate courthouse wedding. My financial records showing I never promised support. Her employment records showing she quit after I left for the wedding, not before. The passport destruction photo with timestamp. All 52 threatening texts. The hotel security footage of her attacking me. The police report from the 1 a.m. drunk visit. The forged lease signature. The judge reviewed everything. Looked at her. Ma'am, you destroyed your husband's federal document to prevent him from attending his brother's wedding. Is that correct? I was scared of losing him. So you committed a federal crime to control his behavior? Silence. You then threatened him, forged his signature on a lease, showed up at his hotel and attacked him, appeared at his parents' home intoxicated at 1:30 a.m., and violated workplace boundaries by contacting his employer with false accusations. He abandoned me. He left a 3-week marriage to someone who destroyed his property. That's not abandonment, that's self-preservation. The gavel came down. Annulment granted. This marriage is void ab initio, from the beginning, as if it never existed. Her attorney tried to argue about compensation. The judge shut it down. 3 weeks, no commingled assets, no joint property, no children. Your client has no standing. We're done here. Outside the courthouse, she tried to approach me. The bailiff blocked her. Restraining order, ma'am. She started screaming. You'll regret this. You think you won? Everyone will know what you are. My attorney walked me to my car. Congratulations, you're legally single. Like you never got married. Just like that. Just like that. I drove to my brother's place. He'd just gotten back from his honeymoon. It's over, I said. Hell yeah, it is. Beer? Beer. That was 3 months ago. Life now? Quiet, good quiet. Got my own apartment, different building, fresh start. Work's going well, got promoted actually. Turned out my boss appreciated me handling my personal crisis without making it the office's problem. My ex tried contacting me through mutual friends. They shut it down. Most of them had seen the court documents by then. Hard to play victim when there's photographic evidence of you shredding someone's passport. Heard through the grapevine she moved back with her parents, telling everyone I used her for 3 weeks, then threw her away when she wanted commitment. Her friends believe her. Don't care. Anyone who knows me knows the truth. Been on a few dates, taking it extremely slow. When they ask about past relationships, I'm honest. Got married way too fast to someone who turned out to be controlling. Got it annulled. Learned my lesson hard. Most women appreciate the honesty. One asked if I was emotionally available for a real relationship. Not yet. Maybe in 6 months, maybe a year. She respected that. We're still talking. My attorney and I grab coffee sometimes. She's become a legitimate friend. You're my favorite client, she told me last week. Because I paid on time? Because you got out fast. Most people waste years convincing themselves it'll get better. You saw the red flags and ran. I wasted 3 weeks. Still 3 weeks too long. But could have been years. Could have been kids. Could have been a messy divorce with asset division and alimony. Instead, legally, it never happened. The annulment wiped it from existence. Emotionally, I'll be cautious about marriage for a while. That's okay. Better cautious than trapped. What I learned, when someone destroys your property to control your behavior, believe them the first time. Document everything. Screenshots and photos saved my life. $400 for an emergency passport was the best investment I ever made. Getting married fast because someone's pushing for it is never a good sign. If your family doesn't like your partner, listen to them. My brother jokes that his wedding saved my life. Maybe it did. If she hadn't shredded that passport, I might have stayed longer. Might have convinced myself it was normal newlywed stuff. Instead, she showed me exactly who she was in one moment, and I believed her. To anyone in a similar spot, if someone tries to control you through threats, destruction of property, or emotional manipulation, leave. It doesn't get better, it escalates. I almost missed my brother's wedding because I married someone who thought love meant ownership. Instead, I made the wedding, met a good attorney, and got myself out clean. 3 weeks married. Void annulment, like it never happened. Best outcome possible. The aftermath. My ex apparently tried dating her backup guy, some dude from her gym she'd mentioned a few times. He Googled her, found the court documents, public record, and noped out. She blamed me for that too. Her mom sent my mom a letter calling me cruel and heartless. My mom sent it back with, "Your daughter shredded his passport," written across it in Sharpie. Her sister tried adding me on LinkedIn. Blocked. Last I heard, she got a new job. Good for her. Hope she's getting therapy. As for me, I'm good. Really good. Got my promotion, got my own place, got my life back. And I never have to worry about someone shredding my documents to control me again. Worth every penny of legal fees.